Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my interview with Valerie. This is 2 years into her disability medical retirement, and I'm doing a follow-up with her to see how things are faring. You saw part 1 a little while ago, and I do apologize for the verbal, or rather the audio uh, the just like myself right here for the audio problems that there were in that particular episode, and hope that the subtitles that I added and some of the creative editing may have helped out with that. There are much fewer of those in this half of the interview, so you won't have to deal with that. So anyway, let's just dive right in, and you can finish up the interview with Valerie now. Enjoy.
Let's move on to the next question. All right, I'm going to paraphrase 2 questions I asked another person in a previous interview. This is a problem I've seen many times, both when I was on active duty as a retirement services officer and since I have been in private practice. You're obviously not the only one who has been affected by this. I did a video a year or so ago in which I called it Operation Iceberg. You're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I have seen is only a small part of a larger issue. And I'm going to range a little. There are countless retirees that are just receiving retired pay and VA compensation without an offset, and are being told that everything is just fine. And this is going on for months or even years. Finally, after 2 or 3 years, they receive debt letters, just like you did, from DFAS or the VA, saying they owe tens or, in extreme cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars in overpaid money. Obviously, they're horrified. They have followed up on the issue in many cases, just like you did also. And they've been told everything was copacetic, and then suddenly they're told there's a massive discrepancy.
Yeah.
Even worse, as you found out, there's no waiver for it. They have to find a way to pay it back and suffer through it. Many times they're not aware of combat-related special compensation, and because there's not an offset in their retired pay, they're not even eligible for it.
Yeah.
Because that offset's one of the requirements. So, what advice would you have for people who are facing this kind of problem?
At this point, I would say use only what you absolutely have to, and either put the money away or invest it in a way that you can make money on it, because at least then if you get that letter, you're not in dire straits all of a sudden. Oh, sorry about that.
I would say when, not if you get that letter.
Yeah, I would too, but I don't, because we're, spread out through the states. I don't even know how many people are affected. I only found one news report on it, of a specific person. There were several reports that I found, but one specific person in South Carolina who I reached out to, and him and his wife, and neither of them responded to me. So,
just in my state, when I was on active duty, I had dozens, and that was just the National Guard.
Yeah.
So,
see, and that's the thing. I don't know if it's happening to regular branches, because everybody that I know is also in the National Guard. So I don't know if it's just affecting us or what, but you know, each person fighting by themselves is fruitless. And actually, when I was prepping for this earlier, I got the idea to start a petition on change.org, which I did start writing. And you know, when I'm finished with it, I'll forward you the link for it if you would like it, because I don't use Facebook. But I know people that do. So what I'm going to do is ask people to do it before I actually complete it, because I think you have to get so many signatures in 30 days. So I want to have those ducks lined up before I actually complete it and put it out. I want to make sure that it can at least get out there. I don't know if it'll take or not, but you know, like I said, the only thing that we can actually do is get the attention of Congress, and this is the last route that I can think of. It would be awesome if we could get the attention of someone like Jon Stewart or Gary Sinise, or somebody, you know, that actually has an audience that's willing to even just read the petition, or try to figure out, or, you know, try to pay attention to what the issue actually is. Because I don't know, my advice to you is save it or invest it so that you can pay it back when you get your letter, especially if you're in the National Guard and we're deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan and medically retired, because that seems to be the group that it's happening to.
All right. I've invariably advised, you know, these service members not to spend the overage that they've received, you know, when it has become obvious that this sort of thing is starting to occur, you know, with their pay. And sadly, in almost every instance, something happens, you know, some financial hiccup, and they end up tapping into that money. You know, this happened, you know, in the most recent example with me about a year ago. A guy who had seen my CRSC video on YouTube and had medically retired, another National Guard guy, and was sending me emails saying, hey, what do I do? And I said, like always, put it in savings. And again, hiccup, he spent it. And then when that debt letter arrived, just like everyone else, you know, he's financially unprepared. So even though DFAS and the VA say their pay systems are linked together and that they sync up, you know, and there are no issues, everything's, you know, square, obviously they're not, you know, because this is happening far too often.
Yeah.
Service members are being left out in the financial cold, and there's not much recourse for them, and they're suffering long periods of hardship. In fact, if it goes on like your case, it could be the rest of your life if it's left at $50 a month.
Yeah.
And you can't even resort to a hardship waiver the way the rules are written right now. You've got to pay. And now that I've, you know, again, ranted a little bit, what would be your thoughts on this situation? How could this be resolved for future service members? You touched on that a little bit. Would you care to expand on that a little more?
You know, in my letter saying that I owe the debt, it just, you know, it was a couple sentences saying that I was not eligible to receive concurrent payment, and now I was overpaid X amount of dollars, and now I have to pay that back. After reaching out to Matt Cartwright, one of my state reps, he had contacted DFAS, and in the response to him, it says right on there, you know, because I also requested an audit, a full audit of my account. And in that thing, it said that in June of 2016, when we were notified that Valerie was receiving VA pay, you know, we took this corrective action. So that right there tells me that they're not synced. Also, the fact that I called both of them multiple times, and they, you know, told me that I was eligible to receive is a problem. And in one of those conversations that I had on the phone, and I took notes for all of this, I wrote down the date and the time, length of phone call, everything. When one of the representatives, I was calling to make arrangements for payments that I could afford, and the rep on the phone told me, quote unquote, "Don't worry, you're not the only one this has happened to. We had a coding error." So my advice is to do something about it. You know what I mean? If you actually want to fix the problem, we need to work together. It blows my mind that the most important lesson that we learn, you know, in the military is to be a team and work together, and everybody is trying to fight this on their own. When I am willing to do the legwork, I don't care, you know, I have the time and I want to resolve this. So I need people to contact me or sign the petition or, you know, disseminate the petition, something. That's the only way this is going to change.
All right. Maybe even get something like you mentioned with the California bonus issue, some sort of cancellation.
Yeah, that would be optimal.
Action. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I've long advocated for technical upgrades.
Yeah.
Both DFAS and the VA. I won't go into a rant on that because we'll be here for hours if I do. But let's just say that 1980s software needs to come forward about 40 years.
Yeah, and another thing that I found when I was researching the issue is that a lot of people that worked for DFAS are just regular people working, you know, low-paying jobs at call centers. So they're not even, it's not even like...
Yeah, they're GS5, you know, entry-level jobs.
Exactly. Yeah, so they don't even fully understand an issue that they're working on, you know what I mean? And the effect that has.
If it doesn't fit the script, then, you know, then they have to either elevate it or try to distract you with something else on the script. So,
yeah.
Well, Valerie, thank you very much for your time and your willingness to appear again for an interview. I greatly appreciate it. Is there anything else you would like to say to the audience before we go? Now's your chance to say whatever you like. The floor is yours.
Basically, you know, unless we work on this collectively as a team, to me, it's just like we're leaving each other on the battlefield, you know? So I would very much appreciate anybody contacting me or, like I said, disseminating the petition when it's done, whatever we have to do. I'm still here, still willing to fight to get it, you know, to make this right. I'll also give you an updated email for people to contact me. And that's about it. I'll put in the work, but I need support. I need to know, it can't just be me. I need to know who else is affected. Even if it's just like a name and address or, you know, a name and service, so I can put it all together and present it to somebody, you know, because if I had that, you know, it's one thing for me to go to my local news station or to write, you know, the New York Times or Washington Post, and say this is happening to me. But if I say this is happening to me and 500 other veterans, and I have names, points of contact, that's different. I feel like that would get attention. Maybe we can coordinate like the release of the petition with this, you know what I mean? So that as the attention is being caught, the petition is available, and the time, the time limit is still appropriate.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. No problem. I'll be looking out for the video.
All right. It'll be a little while to get all this edited down, but it'll be up there in a few weeks.
All right. Sounds good. And I'll keep you posted about the petitions.
Please do.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was it. That was the interview with Valerie. As you can see, there are some good, some bad. Things are getting a little bit better for her, and she does have an initiative she wants to start. This petition to raise awareness of soldiers or service members who have conditions, who have issues with their retired pay and VA compensation offset, just like she had. This is an issue that is nationwide. That's why I dubbed it Operation Iceberg. I am going to also sponsor this event by posting the links for her petition in the show notes of this episode and on the front page of my website. And I do ask that everyone get involved with this petition and spread the word about this petition. Spread this episode, share this episode on YouTube, share this episode via the website, share it in every way possible. Please make this a known issue, because this is like an iceberg, only partially known, and there is much more out there than we are actually seeing. So let's make this much more an issue of awareness. Let's bring this to the forefront and hopefully cause something to happen to resolve it, because there are a lot of service members, or retirees rather, who are suffering because of this particular matter. So if you would help myself, help Valerie, do our part to hopefully help out a lot of other people in the process in this regard. And you would have our gratitude and the gratitude of many others as well. Alright, so I hope that this was good information for everyone. Just like so many of the videos that exist in the inventory so far, there are others coming that I think you will find useful and beneficial as well. And please look forward to those. If you would like to support my efforts on RC Retirement, don't forget that you can do so on patreon.com/RC Retirement. There are several pre-established amounts per month, but you can create your own as well. And remember, that is per month, not per episode. So you can establish a nice monthly adjustment to your budget that way. You can plan on it. It's not per episode. And you can also check out the fees for services section of my website and see how I can assist you on a personal basis, and perhaps even increase the revenue streams in your own household. So check out the fees for services page for that. And don't forget, if you are on Patreon for $25 or more per month, you get a 20% discount on anything on the fees for services page. So you can cross the two in that regard as well. All right. Until next time, until the next episode, I do appreciate everyone taking the time out to be part of this audience and for spending your time with me. It is always appreciated. Until the next episode, I thank you for your service and wish you a great day. Bye-bye.
If you liked what you heard on today's episode, then please go below and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please let other people know about this channel and the information it can provide for them. If you have questions or comments, then please have no qualms about posting them in the comments section below. Please remember the RC Retirement YouTube channel and the RC Retirement website are not recognized or endorsed by the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any other government agency. The information presented in these resources are for entertainment and informational purposes only. Also, the content of either of these resources should not be considered financial or legal advice. Please consult with your own legal counsel, accountant, or financial planner before making any decisions based on what you have learned here. As always, thank you for watching the RC Retirement YouTube channel.